Okay, so this is the upload on 22nd June when we log in as administrator. Uh, this will take a couple of moments because of lots of permissions testing. So when we come to the administration, here we can go to the clinics. We can add a new clinic. The clinic name, let's say the clinic name is chest clinic, advanced chest clinic, and then we save it. So whenever we make a new clinic, actually that will be a place for the doctors. So the next step is to go to the HR and go to the employees, create a new doctor for that clinic. So click on the add new doctor, and then let's fill this doctor's basic data. So this is Dr. Lance, and we can change this name. Let's say Dr. Khalid. Okay, and here we will see our advanced chest clinic, and then this is the consultation fee for that doctor. Let's say it's 1,000 riyals. Okay, the rest is, this will be the email address in which this doctor can be logged in. So I can, for easiness, I can say khalid@gmail.com. If it's already if it's not available, it will give you error, but let's make it unique. So I will just save it. These mobile numbers are too long, so I will just put the proper mobile numbers and proper home and contact. We click the save. In future we will show a loading icon. At the moment it is just taking a couple of seconds, and now we will see the response of the software. Okay, so this new doctor can now be seen, can now be if I just quickly search for Khalid Khan in the offline list, I can see this. After this doctor is created, we have automatically created appointments for 6 months for this doctor. So appointments can be taken from the reception, or in future it can also be taken through mobile, and even telephone appointments will be possible. For now we will just do the offline appointments. So we will click the appointments in the reception, and whenever some patient come, we will just click the check patient button and search for the patient. If there is any patient, let's say I will select this Mr. Zakir Khan, and there are currently no appointment. So I will just go to the new appointment, and I will select the doctor. The doctor is Khalid Khan. So I will just select this doctor, and we can see the schedule of the doctor for 22nd June. And this is possible to change the date for the next 6 months. So I will select this 7 p.m. and it will ask me for the confirmation. I will just book this appointment. Okay, thanks. And then I will close it. This appointment is now automatically coming here. So I can see that Mr. Zakir Khan has got only one appointment, and there is now this new icon for the printing. If I click on this new icon, there will be, in future, this screen is going to give you print format for the appointment, so that patient can print it for any future use. So I will go back to the appointments. Once the appointment is done, internally the system has created a new challan for this appointment, and that challan is available to the cashier. So the patient will be redirected to the cashier desk, and he will ask the cashier to pay for his appointment. He will show his appointment. He might have got that in his hand, print form. So the cashier will just ask the name of that patient. So when he check the name of the patient, there will be any challans unpaid, that those will come here. So that receptionist will just select that challan, because in future there may be more challans. This challan is coming from appointment types, but there will be other challans, let's say coming from laboratory, other challans from x-ray, other challans from other, so all the things which this patient needs to pay, that those will come to this challan screen. And this is the reference number. For example, for appointments, this is the appointment number. For lab test, there will be another reference number which will correspond to that test. So this reference number will vary. It will have different meaning based on the type of challan. And this is challan number 3. So I will select this challan and I will process this receipt of the money, and I will give it to the cash. I will receive a cash against. In future, we might have insurances. Insurance is a separate topic, and it needs a lot of analysis, because some patients will take cash, some patients will use insurance, and some will use the hybrid of cash and insurance. So this needs a lot of discussion, insurance, but we are having those in our mind. So this time we will just take the cash. So internally in the accounting system, our cash account will be debited. So now this is 1000 riyals. I will just put some description and put some note, and I will save this. Once the operation is saved, this challan is now in the paid mode. So if I search this Zakir Khan back, this challan will have paid here, and it's printable as well. Okay, so now I will cancel this screen. Now that appointment is because it's paid now, so it's this appointment is now in the confirm mode. In the confirm mode, he can go now to the nurse for the assessment if he wants to see a doctor in OPD. For example, he goes on 22nd June 7 p.m. He goes to that clinic and he says that I have got this appointment which is already confirmed, and I want to see the doctor. The first step will be go to the nurse. So this is the initial assessment from the nurse. Only nurse can see this. If I log out and log in as nurse, I should be able to see only the nurse related stuff. At the moment I can't see anything. Why? Because initially the admin has not given any permissions to the nurse. So if I go to permissions, I go to the permissions and go to the nurse and give permission to the nurse to this module. So I will just grant permissions. This module is now allowed to this. I will come to this screen at certain stage to explain this screen in more details, but at the moment I just given permission to the nurse. So if I log in and log out and log in as a nurse to this screen, I should be able to see the nurse related menu and the nurse related stuff. So I will now switch to the nurse, and when the patient comes, I will start with his initial assessment. Before the initial assessment, I will also have to check some personal diseases of this patient. This is giving me some error. We will investigate it in future, or maybe in the next couple of days. But I will come back to the initial assessment and I will go to the new assessment. This I will select now the patient. Patient name was Zakir. So whenever I select this patient, there is select appointment 1. Mean this patient has one appointment for today. If there was no appointment for today, this will be 0, and there will be no assessment. So on a wrong day, you cannot get assessed by a nurse if you have no appointment for that day. So I will just select that appointment. And why I am giving it through a button and this dialog, because you might have many appointments for today in different clinics. For example, Mr. Zakir Khan has one appointment in ENT and another appointment in chest and another appointment in any other clinic, so that the nurse has to know which appointment he wants to get assessed with. This appointment number will have his story. So the story is started for this appointment. So I will select this appointment, and when the appointment select, this is the appointment number, the appointment time, the doctor and the clinic and which this appointment is now carried out. So this is the step 1 was the patient selection, step 2 was the appointment selection, step 3 is now the readings. So these are the readings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 basic stuff. In future we can add or remove items from this. So if I just put some blood pressure like this, and this all are being validated. Why? Because the BP format is not valid. We need to put something like 120 by 90. This is we have put some ranges for this, and this is the unit of that blood pressure, mmHg. This is the pulse rate. The pulse rate is 60. There is some min and max. You cannot have like 3 pulse rate, 0 pulse rate or something. For example, 9999. That's wrong. So we have some min and max for that. So I will just say 66 pulse rate. This temperature is this, and this is diabetes. If you don't want to put anything, just remove this. For example, if you don't want to do the respiratory, so remove this is not mandatory. Whatever you want to put, you just put it. The rest you can leave it empty. And step 4 is your remarks, the nurse remarks for this. So what was the purpose of visit? The purpose of visit was headache, let's say. How long the problem is? Problem is for 3 days. Have you consulted any doctor for this problem? Yes. Are you currently using medicines? No, we will leave it. And nurse remarks, we will write some nurse remarks. The nurse will say that this patient is being looking good or bad or whatever. Okay, these questions are configurable. In the next week, these questions are not hard coded. We will give a head nurse type to this software. Head nurse will log into the system. She will create these questions, because every hospital will have different sets of questions. So I will just for now we will just stick with these 3-4 questions, but in future we will have different types of questions, and those will be configured by the head nurse. So whatever the head nurse configures, we will use those. So now I will just save these. So now the assessment is finished for this patient, and this patient is now ready to go to the doctor, which is the second step in our workflow. In next week we will show some work in the doctor's schedule module. From the last week we also did some permissions, so the permission screen was simple enough, but let me just quickly explain this. So I will go to the permission screen. In the permission screen there is a list of these modules. These are fixed modules. Nobody can change them. Only we as software providers can give more modules. But whenever somebody click on a module, there is a list of these employee types. It means these guys, these different types of people are ready or not ready to work in this module. So for example, in administration, admin can log in, doctor can log in, receptionist log in. This is not secure, so I will remove the permission, and then remove the permission of reception. So the admin is logged into, admin is allowed to look at the administration module, and admin also allowed to look at the reception module and receptionist. So admin is allowed to every, if you see, admin is allowed to every module. This module, this module, this module, everywhere admin is available, and you cannot revoke the permissions of admin from any module. But other than admin, there is another. So for example, in reception, receptionist and admin. In accounting, admin and accountant. In HR, only admin and HR guy will be able to log in. If there is any HR, yes, this is the HR. So I will give permissions to HR. So in the human resources, HR and admin. So admin is everywhere, and then the relevant name of the employee type. These employee types can be changed from here as well. You can add more employee types. So you are free to make your own employee types, and automatically the permissions will work. So that was all about the permissions, and it's quite simple to work with the permissions. You can revoke and you can give permissions to this. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and inshallah next week we will update this video and bring more features to this software. Thank you very much.